Mom, that offer to come back and inherit the Alpha title of the New Moon Pack? I'm in.
I've been waiting for this call for 9 years, Elena.
I know.
State your business.
I'm here to see Damon.
The Alpha isn't taking visitors.
Lena, sweetheart, I can't believe they let you out of the hospital already. Damon's been so worried about my safety lately. No exiled members are allowed inside. But don't worry, I'll tell the guards to let you in. Just this once.
What the hell is this?
My resignation.
Don't be dramatic.
I'm not. Sign it.
Tessa just got back from her pack. You know how the elders feel about the Alliance. Her father's been pressuring us.
She's more qualified to be Luma than I am. Yeah, you've mentioned that before.
Actually, that's not the only thing he's mentioned. Didn't you hear, Lena? Damon and I are getting bonded next month. Invitations just went out. I made sure you got one. I made sure you got one.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm not jealous. I'm not throwing a fit. My exit application is filed. I've already offloaded all my Luna and Waiter duties. Transition docs are in the shared drive. You'll need someone for quarterly trade negotiants. Everything else should be covered.
You can't just...
I just did.
Tess and I grew up together. She knows we're fated mates. Of course she's jealous. But the bonding ceremony, it's just politics. The alliance with the Sterling Pack is critical for the northern trade routes. Her father...
I don't care.
Lena.
I don't care about the Alliance. I don't care about Tessa's jealousy. I don't care about your trade routes or your politics or your father's expectations. I'm done, Damon. Sign the damn papers. Honestly, Lena, it's about time. The New Moon Park your stepfather left you isn't the biggest or the strongest, but it's yours. You'll be Alpha in your own right. No more answering to anyone. No more playing second Beetle. I'll be there. I just have one more thing to finish here.
What's happening in 10 days? Who are you talking to?
Just a friend, discussing a fresh start.
The pack still has a place for you, Lena. You don't have to leave. Even with Tessa as Luna, there are other positions. Administrative roles, advisory seats. You've got 9 years of experience. We can find something that fits.
9 years, Damon. 9 years as your future Luna. Do you know what the pack calls me when your back is turned? The ghost. The stand-in. The woman who'll never wear the crown. You want to know why I kept asking for the bonding ceremony? Because I was tired of being invisible. I was tired of doing all the work while you got all the glory. I was tired of waiting for you to choose me.
Damon! The council meeting's about to start. You know how the elders get when you keep them waiting.
We'll finish this conversation later.
No. We won't.
We're too young. Bonding too early kills the passion. We've got our whole lives ahead of us.
I waited for a love that never came.
The spark with Lena is gone. It's been gone for a while. She's predictable, safe, but she's my fated mate. I don't want to hurt her. Does she seriously not see that I don't need her the way I used to?
Some promises were never meant to be kept. I'll give up my title, my standing, my claim to be Luna. No power, no status, just us.
Lena, exhausted from having to explain basic things to you day after day. Just try to understand me, for once.
"9 years of my life lived in that villa. Every piece chosen like it meant forever. I'd believed a lot of things. He wanted to end our bond? Fine, I'd do it for him.
We move forward with the Sterling Alliance. Tessa's father is offering unprecedented access to the northern routes. In exchange, we provide military support for his border dispute with the Crescent Pack.
That border dispute's simmering for decades, pouring resources into a conflict that has nothing to do with...
It has everything to do with us now. Sterling is our oldest ally. We honor our commitments.
trying to be nice and she shoved me. She's lying. I didn't touch her.
You've been jealous of her since the second she got here. Everyone knows it.
Jealous? You think I'm jealous of her?
What else would you call it? You can't stand that I chose her. You can't stand that someone else is gonna be Luna.
I'm not hurting her. She's hurting herself. You're just too blind to see it.
Get her out of here. She's banned from all pack events, effective immediately.
Damon, we're done. On our 10th anniversary, I accept your rejection.
Welcome home, Alpha.
Alpha, Elena. I'm Kara, your mother's beta. She sends her apologies. She's still overseas, wrapping up the final negotiations for her retirement. She'll be here for the succession ceremony.
I'm not coming back to watch you orbit around that boy, that's what she used to say.
The pack is smaller than you remember. Your stepfather's death fractured us. We lost territory to the Crescent Pack. We lost members to packs with stronger alphas. But we survived. We've been waiting for you.
How many?
300 wolves, give or take. We were over 1,000 when your stepfather was alive. Alpha, you have a visitor.
Who?
Tessa Sterling. He's falling apart, Damon. He hasn't slept since you left. He won't eat. He won't speak to anyone. The Council is panicking. The Sterling Alliance is falling through because my father refuses to negotiate with a pack whose alpha can't—
Why are you telling me this?
Because I need you to come back. Not for him. For me, for the pack. If Damon collapses, my father steps in. And if my father steps in, I go back to being his property.
You told me once that he'd send your mother away if you failed. That he'd find someone else to warm his bed.
How do you...
I heard you. Years ago. On the phone.
I know you're not in love with Damon. I know you've been fighting for survival, but you also pushed me down those stairs. You let him believe I was the villain. You wore his mark and flaunted it in my face. I know. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for help.
What exactly do you want me to do?
Come back. Just for a few days. Help stabilize him. Help stabilize the pack. Once the immediate crisis is over, you can leave again, I swear.
And what do I get in return?
It isn't not to be your Ray.
The truth. About why Damon rejected you. About why he's been running from you for 9 years. About the prophecy he's been hiding since the day you met. Prophecy?
There's a reason he's been terrified of completing the bond. It has nothing to do with passion or boredom or any of the lies he's been telling you.
It says you're going to destroy him. I didn't sleep that night. The word prophecy kept circling like a carrion bird. Damon had hidden something from me since the day we met.
I need information about prophecies, specifically about prophecies related to the Blackwood Pack.
Blackwood? That's a dangerous road.
I know. I'm walking it anyway.
There's an elder in the Northern Territory, Margot. If anyone knows about a prophecy tied to Blackwood, it's her. Deep in the Whispering Woods. But be careful, Alpha. The things she tells you, you might not want to hear them.
I went anyway.
Elena McCall. I was wondering when you'd show up.
You know who I am.
I know the scent of the New Moon bloodline. I also know the scent of broken mate bonds. You're here about the Blackwood prophecy. It was made the day you were born. A true prophet told your father that his daughter would be the most powerful alpha the New Moon Pack had ever seen, that her fate would be tied to the Blackwood heir, that the bond between them would be stronger than any in living memory.
And?
If the bond was completed before the appointed time, it would destroy him.
So he pushed me away. He chose Tessa because he thought
he was protecting himself, and you, and everyone else. But the prophecy was never a warning. It was a promise. The Blackwood heir would fall from power so something better could rise in its place. Damon Blackwood only heard the part about falling, so he ran.
Can the prophecy be changed?
Prophecies aren't predictions, child. They're possibilities, paths that could be taken. The future is shaped by the choices we make, and the choices we refuse to make.
So if I choose differently...
Then the path changes. But be careful. Some paths, once abandoned, can never be found again. And some bonds, once broken, can never be fully mended.
Your mother arrived while you were gone. She's in the Great Hall.
Elena, you look tired.
I've been busy.
I heard. Kara told me about your visitor. She also told me you went to see Margot. Sit. Tell me everything.
Lucky to suddenly help you.
I knew about the prophecy. Not the details, but enough. Your father mentioned it once before he died. I didn't tell you because I wanted you to choose your own path.
You should have told me.
Yes. I should have. What are you going to do now?
I'm going to do what I should have done years ago. I'm going to stop letting other people decide my future for me.
Elena McCall, daughter of the New Moon, heir to your stepmother's legacy. Do you accept the mantle of Alpha?
I accept.
Will you protect this pack with your life?
I will.
Will you lead them with wisdom, courage, and the strength of the Moon Goddess herself?
I will.
Northern perimeter. That's a breach call. The battle lasted under an hour. Jesmond retreated. Tetsint retreated. We lost 3 warriors. They lost 12. Their commander planned this for months. He assumed that with you untested, the pack would scatter at the first strike. Then he miscalculated. Send a message to the Crescent Alpha. If he tries this again, I won't just defend my border, I'll come for his. Welcome to the New Moon Pack, Alpha. You've just earned your first victory.
I'm still here. I'm Seething you did. Despite everything you did, I'm still standing.
You're pushing yourself too hard. The pack needs their alpha rested, not collapsing from exhaustion at the next border skirmish.
The pack needs their alpha ready. Crescent will try again. I don't know how to stop. Every time I close my eyes, I feel him. The bond, the rejection, the 9 years I wasted waiting for someone who was never going to choose me.
I had a mate once. His name was Aldrich. We were bonded for 32 years. He died in the same border skirmish that killed your stepfather.
I didn't know.
Most people don't.
The bond never fully heals, even after death, even after rejection. You'll always feel him. You'll always wonder what could have been. But that doesn't mean you're broken. It means you loved something. And that love shaped you into the alpha you are today.
The Crescent Alpha sent a response. He wants a parley. Neutral ground, 3 days from now. Crescent doesn't negotiate, they conquer. Which means they're afraid. I want you there as my second. And I want Tessa Sterling on reconnaissance.
I heard you requested me for the reconnaissance team. Why? Because you spent years learning your father's tactics. Because you know how Crescent operates. And because you've earned it. Every day since you arrived, you've shown up, you've bled for this pack. You're not the same woman who pushed me down those stairs. I told myself it was survival, but the truth is I was terrified of you. A woman who could stand on her own, an alpha who didn't need anyone's permission to be powerful. You already are that woman. You just didn't know it yet.
Alpha Elena, killing 12 of my wolves in your first battle, threatening to take my territory. Bold words for someone who's been alpha less than a month.
Bold actions. I don't make threats I can't back up. I want peace. Defined borders, an end to the raids, and I want the eastern hunting grounds you seized from us 3 years ago. They belong to New Moon.
That territory was won in fair combat.
It was stolen while my pack had no alpha. That's not fair combat. That's scavenging. Negotiate with me now, in good faith, and we can find terms that benefits both our packs. Refuse, and watch me take back everything you've stolen, one piece at a time. The eastern hunting grounds return to New Moon. In exchange, Crescent gets access to the northern trade routes through our territory. Routes you've been trying to negotiate with Sterling for years. Routes worth more than those hunting grounds ever.
Why would you offer us trade access? You have no reason to trust us.
Because I'm not interested in endless war. I'm interested in building something that lasts.
You remind me of your stepfather. He had the same fire. It got him killed.
My stepfather underestimated his enemies. I don't.
I always knew you were powerful. I was just too afraid to let myself see it. Too afraid of what your power would mean for me. The prophecy said you would destroy me, but I destroyed myself. You just walked away from the wreckage.
Our tribe is no longer a refuge. It is a rising force. In the Wolf Tribe's fortress, strength is the pass, and trust is a bond stronger than blood. Today, a new era is being forged, not just with wood and stone, but with will and loyalty. Upon the ruins, we rebuild not only our home, but also broken trust. Every piece of timber, every nail, is our answer. He comes with eyes of judgment, yet carrying the warmth of homecoming.
You've done well.
I had a good teacher.
You had yourself. I gave you the title. You earned the rest. Have you heard from Damon?
He writes. I don't respond.
Do you want to?
I don't know. I spent 9 years waiting for him to choose me. I'm not that woman anymore.
You don't have to go back to being her. You'd be going forward with someone who spent the last year trying to become worthy of you. I'm not telling you to forgive him. I'm telling you to keep your heart open. Not for him, for yourself.
Alpha Lena, welcome to Blackwood.
Alpha Damon, thank you for hosting.
You're different.
I've had a year to become someone new.
You're the Alpha I always knew you could be. I was just too afraid to let you become her. I meant what I said in my letters. I'm not asking you to come back. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm just asking if someday you're
ready to forgive you. All of them. I kept sure every single will be. But I'm also not the woman who left here a year ago. I don't need you to complete me. But I might be willing to see who you're becoming, one step at a time.
One step at a time. I can do that.
I went to see my father. He asked me to tell the council he'd changed. I told him change isn't something you claim, it's something you prove. And he hasn't proven anything. I told him I'm a warrior of the New Moon Pack now. He has no power over me anymore. I'm proud of you. Do you think you'll ever take him back? Damon, I mean. I don't know. But for the first time, I'm open to finding out. Elena.